African continent and a mine collapse in eastern Democratic Republic of Congo has killed more than 200 people. The disaster occurred on Wednesday at the Rubaya coltan mine, which has been controlled by the M23 rebel group since 2024. The Rubaya site produces about 15% of the world's coltan, a key metal used in mobile phones, computers, aerospace components and gas turbines. Victims include miners, children and market women. While dozens were rescued with serious injuries, an advisor to the governor confirmed that at least 227 deaths had occurred, though the toll may rise. The United Nations says M23 has plundered the mine to fund its insurgency, allegations Rwanda denies. The rebels captured more mineral-rich territory last year, claiming to protect the Tutsi minority. Joining us now to discuss this devastating incident in DRC is Ayanuga Olugbenga Paul, a public affairs analyst, joining us live from Lagos in Nigeria. Thank you very much
for having me on the show.
For joining us. It's a pleasure to have you. What is the scale of this collapse at this coltan mine? Tell us about the current state in these M23 controlled areas. And Rwanda, of course, is denying that the M23 is using the coltan mines to fund their insurgency. What's your analysis on that?
Well, the M23 as a rebel group, as we know it, first and foremost, does not have the capacity yet to be able to run a state properly. Hence, they engage in all of these hand-wringing tactics of using artisanal miners in unconventional way, most of them without protective equipment, proper protection inside the mine, because many of the mine are not constructed using standard equipment where wedges that will hold the mine from collapse will be put in place and other structures that will make the mine stand. And that is why whenever there is heavy rainfall, we see this situation where mine collapse happen. And in the current case, where it is reported across several media that about 227 have been recorded so far, even though the number could be more than that, that have died, and about 20 were rescued immediately before the mine collapsed. So we see a lot of people being sent to this dangerous position because there is no standard government in those places, and rebel will be what they are. They are akin to slave traders in their modus operandi. Sometimes such that they will be able to make money. And I feel really bad for Rwanda trying to be the spokesperson for the M23 rebel, because Rwanda has continuously denied that it does not have a say in the M23 rebel affair. So if we are accusing M23 rebel of mining all this mineral-rich region to fund its campaign in holding on to the territories that they have gained, that is nothing but the truth. But now Rwanda jumping to quickly support them will make it look like, so all the denials that you have been doing since all this while that you have nothing to do with M23 rebel are just lies, and those lies are collapsing in the face of proper scrutiny right now. And I don't see this current collapse as last in the series of collapse that might still likely happen, because most often than not, this one, because of the sheer scale of it, got out to the media. The smaller cases, they might even shut down the story from getting out. And that's why you see that a lot of people who spoke to media on this matter spoke on condition of anonymity because they were not authorized to speak. But you know, there is this human feeling urge that how can over 200 people lose their life in one sweep because of the carelessness and greed of some certain people, and that is why they are speaking. But in smaller scenarios that have been happening, that I'm sure is happening in that region, they would make sure the news does not get out to the public to be able to hear or learn about it. And I don't see them doing anything in terms of re-engineering many of the mines that people are still being forced into labor to work there for peanuts, money that could barely buy them good clothes, not to talk, even food, not to talk of clothes in most cases. So, but people, the natural human instinct is to survive, and in survival you want to provide for your family, you want to provide food and all the rest. So people have no alternative or choice than to work in some of these mines, as they are trapped in the war-torn zones, so they don't have opportunities to be able to escape this vicious circle. But I just hope that international organization will, beyond the rhetorics, the play of words, find something to do to assist, if it means recognizing the M23 rebel, so that they can, have standard government and standard structure in place to govern the area and provide infrastructures that will regularize all these mining activities, and there will be no illegal activity going on there. Even though you can't stop it totally, but at least it will be reduced drastically. So that this can happen, we need the international organization like UN, like USAID and all the rest of them to take this step and start this discussion. This grandstanding by the Congolese government that they are not ceding any part of the country, and it will not work, because I don't see the rebels ceding any part of the territories that they have taken.
Yes, do stay with us, Ayanuga, as we go on to our next story.